A number of years ago, a number of us clergy were gathered together by one of the campus pastors to talk about various aspects of the faith, things like baptism, communion. And on this particular night, we were to focus on final things, the end times. I remember sitting with my Roman Catholic colleague in absolute bewilderment and amazement as the premillennialists and postmillennialists got into an hour-long discussion. Well, it was more of an argument over when exactly was Christ going to return and what was meant by that 1,000 years. When they had finished and it was our turn to get up, we both stood up and quoted from Mark 13, where Jesus says, "We neither know neither the hour nor the time, so we're called to get back to work." And then we sat down. They looked as bewildered as we had earlier. So what's John driving at with this whole notion of 1,000 years? We open this particular section with an angel coming down from heaven with the keys to the abyss in his hand, the keys to that realm where the demonic ones dwell. The angel apprehends Satan and casts him into the abyss, where he is locked away and sealed. For the time being, Satan's activity is curtailed. 4,000 years, we are told. John pictures this period as that between Christ's exaltation and his return, as the time that Satan was banished from heaven to earth, where he now rages, already defeated, but still very much an evil presence. The banishing of Satan reveals to the hearers of John's revelation that the present situation is not the final situation, but a new day is even now dawning. The martyrs are now lifted up. Those who were killed for refusing to worship the beast's image, and those who did not succumb to the social and economic pressures of the empire, now receive their reward. Revelation depicts a two-stage resurrection. In the first resurrection, those who are blessed now serve as the priests in the New Jerusalem. After 1,000 years, Satan will be released from his prison. But in the end, he will be thrown back into the lake of fire and brimstone, forever and ever. The final scene in this section turns to the judgment throne. All the dead are now raised and judged according to their names being written in the book of life, perhaps a reference to a baptismal roll, and also to being written what is written of them in the scroll of their deeds. Those judged worthy will become the citizens of the New Jerusalem that is yet to come. So what were the words that you heard? What were the images that were conjured up as you listened to this particular section? Revelation is seen as motivation for, as my grandfather used to say, getting off the pot if you're not going to piss. To move, to do. What is it that God might be calling the church to be and to do in this time? What might God be calling you to be to do. Remembering always that the most condemned of all the congregations was that of Laodicea, who was just sort of lukewarm and did nothing. Where is God calling us as we enter into God's future? Take some time to journal with these thoughts. Spend some time with friends in conversation. Perhaps even discuss how grace fits into all of this. Until next time, thank you for joining me.